All right, guys, I want to show you how I prepare my high-fat meals for a day. Okay. Now, first of all, let me just say I eat the same amount of protein whether I'm bulking or I'm cutting. When I'm trying to grow, then I'll go ahead and increase the total number of calories I take in by increasing the fat content. So right now, I'm eating 4 high-fat meals a day. I started off with three protein meals a day, two moderate fat meals a day, and 1 high fat meal a day. Right now, I'm up to 4 high fat meals, 1 protein only meal, and 1 moderate fat meal. So, this is basically what I've got for my high fat meals. This is 80% lean, which is relatively fatty, ground chuck, okay? And 8 ounces of this is equal to 38 grams of protein. I get 50 grams of protein in every meal. So what I do is I add in a half of a cup of cottage cheese. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So first of all, what I do is I take these, I think it's 4 cup little Tupperware containers, and they have lids on them. Okay, so this is basically a glass casserole dish with a lid. So I can go ahead and while I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my meals. Like I said, I could bake in these, which I'm going to do right now. I can microwave. I could eat right out of these things because they're glass. They're not plastic. So this is actually perfect. More expensive than normal Tupperware, but it also at the same time is a lot more useful. Okay. So what I do is I just go ahead, put it on the scale, and I add in 8 ounces of ground chuck. And I've said this before, you're never going to be perfect, but you still have to strive for perfection. Okay, so if if I do this and I weigh everything, I do everything perfectly, yes, I do know that I'm not going to be perfect, but I know I'm going to be a lot closer than if I just eyeball stuff and just kind of hope that I do well, okay? And then at some point it's like, great, next thing you know, you just eyeballed the stuff, so you're kind of screwed up from going in, and if you're less perfect, then because you're just eyeballing stuff, you're obviously going to be way off when you make like little mistakes. So basically what I do is I add in my potassium source. I do not supplement potassium or sodium. I use no salt, which has, instead of sodium, it has potassium in it. And I use sea salt, which obviously has sodium in it. That is where I get my sodium and my potassium from. Okay, those 2 electrolytes. I do not take pills. I just actually put a lot of this on everything I eat. Okay, and this is something I've been using lately. It's jalapeno based seasoning. That's what I use with my ground chuck. I think it just tastes good. There is a little bit of sugar, okay, in it on the list of ingredients. Okay, so I probably should be using something else. But, trace amounts of sugar, different types of carbs, and artificial sweeteners are like a person-to-person thing. There are certain types of artificial sweeteners I can take that, like, other people I know who are low carb cannot. They feel it takes them out of ketosis. There are other types of artificial sweeteners that I'll take that other people are great with that will kill me, okay? And I feel great eating this. I haven't had a problem. Okay, as a matter of fact, there are a couple of sauces that I've recently stopped using that I thought were great because I noticed that like the deeper I go into ketosis, the more they bother me. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the jalapeno seasoning, the potassium salt, the sodium salt on top, mix it up, put more on, okay, on top, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. And like I said, I've got 4 of these Tupperware dishes, so this is going to be 4 servings of ground chuck that I'm going to have. Right now, basically, I'm just going to go ahead and have a cup of coffee, get some work done in the 30 minutes that it's cooking. Sometimes I do this when I come back from the gym, take a shower. By the time I'm done with the shower, the 30 minutes is up. So it's just a couple minutes of preparation, and then, like I said, I've 30 minutes at 400 degrees in the oven. All right, guys. So I just took my 4 Tupperwares out of the oven, and what I did is I chopped it up. It looks like a hamburger when it comes out. But I'm going to mix this with cottage cheese because, like I said, 8 ounces of ground chuck is only 38 grams of protein. I put a half of a cup of cottage cheese in, 12 grams of protein, so that bumps it up to 50, which I try to get in every meal. Okay, so basically, once again, like I said, I chopped it up. I season it with sodium salt, with potassium salt, with my jalapeno seasoning. Again, kind of mix it up a little bit. And then I go ahead and I put in 117 grams of cottage cheese. I used to do this. What I used to do is I used to heat it up, and then I would add the cottage cheese. But it's a lot faster if I just do this all at once, kind of like in bulk. And it doesn't turn out really bad at all. So what I do is I mix this up. It actually tastes good. I know people are probably going to think it tastes bad, but it actually tastes good. This is similar to something that my girlfriend and I used to make. It's like a keto lasagna. Okay, I used to call it fake lasagna, where it's basically just ground beef and cottage cheese and ricotta cheese. Then we make a cream sauce, a cream and cheese sauce for it. But yeah, that's like I said, I actually enjoy this. This is actually one of my more favorite meals. And like I said, it still has the 50 grams of protein, but it has a lot more. Has a lot more fat than my usual moderate fat meals. So let's say a moderate fat meal for me would be 200 grams of chicken weighed raw, 28 grams of almonds. It would be about 50 grams of protein. It would be 220 calories for the chicken, 160 calories for the almonds. So I'd be about 380 calories. Okay. Now with the ground chuck and the cottage cheese, it's 576 calories for 8 ounces of ground chuck, and it is 110 calories for the cottage cheese. So that's 686 calories. So you see that's significantly more calories. So what I did is I titrated my calorie intake up. As I was starting to get hungry, I would go ahead and just increase my calorie intake. So I would drop a chicken and almond meal, replace it with a ground chuck and cottage cheese meal, which, like I said, same protein, but significantly more fat, which means significantly more calories. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put the tops on these things, put them in the refrigerator, and then, like I said, every time I need a meal, cook it for a minute, mix it up a little bit, cook it for a minute, stir it up again, and it's done. So all my 4 of my 6 meals, all of my high-fat meals for the day, completely done.